Chapter 91, Complete Counterattack. Because of this brainless girl, Ning Xueluo was close to dying from frustration. Haven't you seen that everyone's starting to sympathize with her because of this incident? Don't tell me that you want her to rise from the ashes and continue acting with your Muegage. Jia Qingqing hesitated slightly for a moment, but refused to bow down in the end. I'm not going. I'd rather die than apologize to that bitch. What effect could such a small incident have? All she had to do was buy some small gifts to buy off these people later. Ning Xueluo saw that Jia Qingqing couldn't be persuaded, so she could only leave things as they were and hope that she wouldn't cause any more trouble later on. Pub Future Ads. It was already a foregone conclusion that Ning Xi's reputation would be blown to bits. No matter what schemes she tried, she could only play small little tricks like these. How could she possibly turn things around? She estimated that the mysterious sponsor behind Ning Xi would dump her not long after. Who would want a lover with a terrible reputation who cheated on him? Thinking up to here, Ning Xueluo calmed down somewhat. In the end, to prevent any more conflicts arising between them, Guo Qixin decided against filming the scene again and just used the clip where Ning Xi had spat out blood. The second scene slated for filming today was the scene where Meng Chang'e had just been bestowed the title of consort, while Consort Xian lost favor and was thrown into the Cold Palace. Meng Chang'e entered the Cold Palace to visit Consort Xian and told Consort Xian her true identity. Luckily, this scene was rather safe. It was all expressions and dialogue, not much action. 3, 2, 1, action. Filming started. In the Cold Palace, Consort De sat on a wide chair, looking disdainfully from the corner of her eyes at the sorry figure fallen at her feet. Consort Xian, do you know why I hate you so much? Why I had to push you to certain death? Bitch! You're clearly jealous of me. Jealous that the Emperor likes me. Jealous that I'm favored. Consort De laughed as if she had heard the best joke in the world. You say that I'm jealous? Of the favor of that rotten old man. Consort De. Have you gone mad? I'm going to tell the Emperor. I'm going to tell the Emperor that you insulted. Pub Future Ads. Pub Future Ads. Consort De abruptly shot a sinisterly cold look at her, forcing Consort Xian into silence. Following that, she spoke word by word. Consort Xian, do you know who I am? I wonder if you remember the name. Meng Chang'e. You. Jia Qingqing couldn't continue her words no matter what. Guo Qixin shouted, cut. Do it again. The second try started. Consort Xian, do you know who I am? I wonder if you remember the name. Meng Chang'e. This time, Ning Xi's gaze was even more severe than the previous time. It clutched tightly at Jia Qingqing's throat like a noose. You are. Stop, do it again. The third try started. Consort Xian, do you know who I am? I wonder if you remember the name. Meng Chang'e. Ning Xi's emotions were even more intense. This time, her tone was like a malicious spirit demanding for Jia Qingqing's life. Even those watching around them could feel that unceasing torrent of wrath and resentment. You're Meng Chang'e? How could you be? Jia Qingqing was like a recorder on loop. She had forgotten her lines again. Cut. This time, Guo Qixin finally lost all his patience and threw the screenplay. He thundered furiously, Jia Qingqing, what's going on? You can't even remember such a simple line. Do you even read the script normally? Guo Qixin couldn't be blamed for getting angry. Ning Xi had pulled off the mood of the scene so well, stirring his emotions. They could have had a perfect scene, but Jia Qingqing's stupid mistake had ruined it. Chapter 92, A Lousy Teammate. The watching crew around them showed expressions that looked down upon on Jia Qingqing. Is Jia Qingqing brain dead? It's just that one line. I've already memorized it just watching them. You're Meng Chang'e? How could you be Meng Changa? Meng Changa has already died. It's just that one line, is it really that hard to memorize? That post even said that Ning Xi's acting was terrible. He really should take a look at Jia Qingqing, so he finally finds out what's really dog shit. Actually, Ning Xi is quite good at acting. Didn't you notice that she has always gotten through scenes in a single take? Even if the scene gets ruined, it's always someone else's mistake. Now that you mention it, that seems to be true. I thought that she got into acting because of her looks, but she looked amazing when she was acting the young Meng Changa yesterday. Although she was teasing Zhang Muye all the way, I don't know why, but it didn't give me a bad feeling. Conversely, I felt my heart fluttering just watching them. That's right. I got so excited watching them yesterday. I wouldn't like it as much if they changed the actor. It feels like Ning Xi is Meng Changa in my heart. Ning Xueluo hadn't expected that an even worse situation would appear. Instantly, she scolded Jia Qingqing a few hundred times in her heart, but she still walked over with a caring look. Qingqing, what happened to you? Are you feeling all right today? Jia Qingqing was currently on the verge of throwing a temper. She frantically said, I don't know what happened. The moment I look at Ning Xi, I'll just forget my lines, as if I've been possessed by an evil spirit. How could that be? Ning Xueluo didn't really believe Jia Qingqing's words, thinking that it was Jia Qingqing's originally poor acting skills and laziness. However, she still held on to her patience and reassured, you'll get better eventually, I'll help you with practice. Ning Xueluo accompanied her for one round of practice, and Jia Qingqing managed to speak her lines smoothly. See, isn't this good? Ning Xueluo said encouragingly. Jia Qingqing recovered her self-confidence and took the initiative to look for the director. Director, I'm ready now. Guo Qishan had wrestled back his calm somehow. He spoke with a slightly warmer expression, then let's start. However, this time, Jia Qingqing forgot her lines as usual. Pub future ads. She refused to give up and tried again and again. In the end, she continuously ruined the scene 28 times. It was such an easy scene, but they still couldn't finish filming it even until night time. Finally, the production crew were all complaining. This was a movie, not a TV series. They had to use rolls of film. She had failed the scene so many times, what a waste of manpower and money. After the 33rd failed attempt, Jia Qingqing stood there in a daze. Suddenly, she screamed sharply and lunged towards Ning Xi crazily. Ning Xi, you little bitch! What did you do to me? Why can't I remember my lines? Why can't I remember my lines? It's you. It's definitely something you did. The assistant and the people standing around hurriedly tried to pull her away. In the end, she pushed them all away crazily. Even Ning Xueluo, who had gone up to persuade her, had been scratched once. This time, she had really gotten everyone to hate her. She's really brain dead. She couldn't remember her own lines and it's someone else's fault? Did someone else enter her brain and steal the lines? She made everyone stay back so late and she's not even the tiniest bit sorry for it. For her to somehow provoke someone like that, Ning Xi's quite pitiful. Don't you think yesterday's incident was a little strange? The moment Zhang Muye entered the cast, all that stuff happened to Ning Xi. If Ning Xi gets chased out of the cast, who profits the most? Do you even need to ask? Speaking up to here, everyone displayed knowing expressions. Chapter 93, The Truth Always Prevails. Finally, everyone packed up and left unhappily. After Jia Qingqing had caused such a ruckus, the director forced her to take 2 days off from filming to let her calm down. Ning Xi had removed her makeup and was preparing to leave when Ning Xueluo quietly walked in. With her arms crossed over her chest and an expression full of contempt, she said, Ning Xi, I really couldn't tell that you were so devious. Oh? I'm devious. With a faint smile, Ning Xi cast a glance at the bloody scratch on Ning Xueluo's arm, courtesy of Jia Qingqing. She then blinked with an innocent expression. Wasn't it you who had such great vision, picking such a great teammate? Pub Future ads. You, Ning Swallow gritted her teeth. She was so angry that her chest hurt. How could she have known that Jia Qingqing would be so stupid? Ning Xi's reputation had already been marred to that point, yet she could somehow help her wash her reputation clean. The production crew were even changing their opinions of Ning Xi. Ning Xi was sure to have something planned next. She had to quickly think of a way to respond to her actions. She absolutely could not let Ning Xi turn the tables around. After that short confrontation with Ning Swallow, Ning Xi was walking out of the set when her phone rang. It was a text message. Corrupted Devil King, I'll wait for you at the alleyway in front. Ning Xi prudently replied him, we'll each go our own ways. See you at home, I'll look for you at your house. An hour later, at number 6 Platinum Palace. Ning Xi had just walked to the door when Zhang Muye immediately tugged her in. He peeked out of his door and looked left and right, as if they were doing something shady. Previously, he hadn't minded if Ning Xi was connected to him in some way, and had even hated that he couldn't announce their special relationship to the world. However, after experiencing that incident, he couldn't help but reconsider what he had done previously. Ning Xi put down her bag, kicked off her shoes and sat on the sofa cross-legged. The first thing she did was reach out her hand and ask, "Did you film it?" Zhang Muye looked at her speechlessly. She completely didn't care about her image in front of him. Did this damned woman even treat him as a man now? Why was she so casual in front of him? Her scoundrel-like appearance was exactly like how she was in the movie. Pub Future ads. Pub Future ads. Are you treating me like a lousy teammate too? Of course I got it. Zhang Muye passed his phone over unhappily. When she had mentioned that she wanted to act like an innocent flower, he had already guessed what she wanted to do. Of course she was going to film all the exciting drama. Ning Xi took the phone and pressed play. She nodded in satisfaction, "You did pretty well. I'll add a chicken leg for you." Following that, she opened her Weibo and tweeted with her main account. Of course, the contents weren't an apology like Chang Li wanted, but 4 words, "The truth always prevails." After tweeting that out, she quickly logged into her side account and messaged a blogger specializing in Golden Age entertainment gossip. She then sent the video containing Jia Qingqing's continuous failed scenes to him. Those two companies were really dead rivals. Not much time had passed since Ning Xi sent the message when the blog immediately posted the clip. They even added a very eye-catching caption, "Failing a scene 33 times, the #1 useless flower vase in the entertainment circle shows you what shit acting is." Zhang Muye cast a glance at her, "You're just sending it to this blog? You're not sending it to other blogs? I filmed that so painstakingly." Ning Xi had her head lowered and was buried in the comments section. "This is enough to draw attention. We don't need to do anything for the next step. Did you think that you were the only one filming just now? Why didn't you use that to deal with Jia Qingqing earlier? If you had done that earlier, she would have been swapped out immediately and there wouldn't be so much drama. You even made me endure that woman for 2 days." Zhang Muye muttered unhappily. No one had understood why Jia Qingqing kept forgetting her lines, only Zhang Muye knew what had happened. Chapter 94, Uncontrollable Burning Love. That's because Ning Xi was purposely pressure acting. Pressure acting was a technique that only extremely experienced actors could pull off. They could use their acting to pressure the other person mentally, making the other act abnormally, forgetting their lines. The most intense pressure could even give the other a mental block that they would never be able to get over for the rest of their lives. There were extremely few people who could use this technique in the entertainment circle. Most importantly, it was very hard to see through this technique, because it was hard to tell if the other was simply acting well or was purposely using pressure acting. This technique could harm others without leaving a trace. Ning Xi rolled her eyes at him, "I can't throw out my moves so casually. Firstly, she needed a specific situation to use this kind of move. For example, the scene today was perfect for suppressing Jia Qingqing. Secondly, this move would affect the progress of filming, so she definitely wouldn't use it unless she really had to. Zhang Wei unconsciously remembered some unhappy memories and curled his lip as he said, "Then I am very honored to be one of the few you unleashed this move on." Back then, he had been suppressed by Ning Xi using this move. However, he wasn't trash like that Jia Qingqing. He had eventually held on and had overcome the move, and his acting skills had even improved by leaps and bounds after that. After saying so, Zhang Wei stared at her with a burning gaze. "Are we eating dinner together tonight? You promised me you'd treat me alone. You also promised that you'd play games with me another day." It was Ning Xi who was in the wrong for this. So she sighed helplessly and said, "Fine fine fine, I'll eat with you and play with you, okay? I'm just going to message Lu Tingxiao and let him know." Zhang Wei's expression instantly changed upon hearing this. "You're only living in temporarily for little treasure, why do you have to report when you don't go back? What's the relationship between you and Lu Tingxiao? Although I'm sending a message to Lu Tingxiao, the recipient is little treasure, okay?" Ning Xi was too lazy to bother with him. She looked down at her phone and typed a message, "My dearest darling, Auntie is busy tonight, so I might come back really late. Remember to eat your dinner and go to sleep. When Auntie is free, I'll buy cute clothes for you. Love you, hugs and kisses." Zhang Wei looked at that message and got so annoyed that his eyes turned red. "Why are you so gentle to little treasure? You were never this gentle to me when we were together, you kept beating me up whenever we quarreled." Ning Xi cast a sideways glance at him. "You deserved all those beatings. Little treasure is so cute, are you sure you can compete with him?" Pub future ads. Pub future ads. Zhang Wei's beautiful eyes lit up like the blazing sun. "Ning Xi. Did you ever even like me back then? You really got close to me just to..." Ning Xi looked at him with surprise. "Nonsense, of course not. You. Zhang Wei pointed at her and couldn't speak for a long while. Ning Xi propped up her chin and smiled at him. "So? Are you full from anger now? Are we still going to eat dinner?" Zhang Wei gritted his teeth. "We're eating." He absolutely could not fall for her evil schemes. At the same time, in the Lu residence, Lu Jingli sat on the sofa while hugging a pillow. If he had a tail behind him, it would be wagging up a storm. Bro, tell me, what happened last night?" Because of Ning Xi's words telling him to find a woman this morning, Lu Tingxiao's expression was still a little gloomy. He had no mood at all to satisfy Lu Jingli's curiosity. "Is it because you couldn't control the burning love in your heart and lost control and went to attack her at night? And then you weren't careful with your actions and woke Xiao Zixi up? Then you were trapped on the spot, so you just pretended you were sleepwalking." Lu Jingli's ability to fill in the details wasn't just for show. Lu Tingxia raised his gaze and looked at him. This fellow's smarts were all used on things like this, weren't they? Seeing his dear brother's expression, Lu Jingli just knew that he had guessed it right. With an expression like he was about to fall in love with himself, heavens! "I'm too smart. Bro, don't I know you so well?" Seeing Lu Jingli look like he was requesting a reward, Lu Tingxiao generously spoke up, "You get a month's holiday." Overjoyed, Lu Jingli almost leapt up to dance on the spot. He immediately said with incomparable regret, "Bro, if you keep on doing this, you'll be wasting your strength. Why didn't you just immediately pounce on Xiao Zixi? What a waste!" Lu Tingxiao looked coldly at him in askance, "And what do you think would result from doing that?" Lu Jingli rubbed his chin and said seriously, "You've always used little treasure as an excuse to get closer so that she wouldn't get alarmed and run off. If you exposed your trap at this time, Xiao Zixi would most likely run thousands and thousands of miles away." Lu Tingxiao. Although that was the truth, Having Lu Jingli say it out just like that made his mood rather bad. Actually, he had wanted to find out what she thought about it while acting recklessly last night. However, the extreme fear and rejection that Ning Xi had instantly forced him awake. After that, his way of handling it had been proven right. Otherwise, in that situation, Ning Xi would surely have been scared off by him. Pub future ads. Why did she have that kind of reaction? What had she experienced before? Bro, can I ask you a question? Why is your mood so unstable lately? Did something happen? Lu Jingli asked carefully. He had already been rather tactful in putting it this way. Truthfully, Lu Tingxiao's temper had been so irritable that he seemed like a girl on her period. Lu Tingxiao knocked against the armrest of his chair with the joints of his long, slender fingers. He spoke calmly, the one who sent flowers that day was Zhang Huiye. Say what? Lu Jingli stared in a daze for a long while before finally reacting to Lu Tingxiao's news. Following that, he jumped up. What? Corrupted Devil King is Zhang Huiye. Didn't he just return back the day before yesterday? I even got the news that he was going to be the second male lead for Land Under Heaven. He hadn't thought that he had this kind of relationship with Xiao Zixi. It looked like that kid had suddenly come back for some reason. Furthermore, the first movie he had chosen after coming back was Land Under Heaven. This was food for thought. He had many intimate scenes with Xiao Zixi in the movie Task Tisk. Let me think. Has he met with Xiao Zixi recently? And you saw it? You even saw some ambiguous scene. Lu Tingxiao. Pub future ads. Pub future ads. Lu Jingli's guesses were all on the money. My god, no wonder you haven't been acting right recently. Lu Jingli paced wildly on the spot, who would have thought that we had a traitor in our ranks? Then what about YS? Did you find that out? Lu Tingxiao's eyes darkened, the person who sent the diamond vanished without a trace after leaving the set. Furthermore, the diamond's origins can't be traced. It's most likely smuggled goods brought in from a special channel. The corner of Lu Jingli's mouth twitched upon hearing so. He said somewhat speechlessly, there's another headache. It can't have anything to do with the Lu family this time, right? Why? Is there anyone who has those initials by our side? It seems like there isn't. It was so complicated for his dear brother to get a simple date. Other people had dating lives like some romantic drama, his was practically a mystery detective novel. At this moment, Lu Tingxiao's phone rang. It was a message from Ning Xi. Upon reading the contents, the dangerous creature hibernating in the depths of Lu Tingxiao's eyes threatened to move. Lu Jingli moved closer curiously. Xiao Zixi's message, what did she say? Why did his brother look as if he had been cheated on? Lu Tingxiao stared at that message for a few more seconds before immediately calling her. At residence number 6, Ning Xi quickly picked up the call. Hello, Lu Tingxiao, is anything the matter? Did you see the message I just sent? Remember to show it to Little Treasure. I saw it. Where are you? Lu Tingxiao asked. Ning Xi glanced at the kitchen, where Zhang Huiye was busy trying to show off his culinary skills. I'm at Zhang Huiye's place. I have something to discuss with him, plus he just got back. So I'm having a welcome dinner with him. Chapter 96, you said there was nothing between you two. Alright, I got it. I'll come over later. Lu Tingxiao said calmly. However, on the other end of the phone, Ning Xi was stunned. You're coming over. Why? Is there a problem? Lu Tingxiao returned the question, his tone slightly cooler. And no problem, Lu Tingxiao's tone was too matter of course, she couldn't refute it. Seeing Ning Xi at a loss after hanging up the phone, Zhang Huiye poked his head out and asked, what happened? Who called? Pub future ads. Your uncle, he said that he'll be coming over later. What did you say? The spoon in Zhang Weie's hand fell to the ground with a clatter. He then pointed at her and lamented with grief, Ning Xiaoxi, you told me that there was nothing going on between you two. We're just having a meal together, why did you call him over? Calm down, don't throw a temper at me, okay? Ning Xi rolled her eyes at him, feeling a headache coming on, I didn't call him here. He asked where I was and I just replied very normally that I'm having a welcome dinner with you. Then he said he was going to come over. It's most likely because he feels that he should take care of you as your senior? So he's coming over to eat together? That seems to be his logic. Zhang Weie threw a bowl on the floor, what logic? Do you think Liu Tingxiao is the kind who would get close to people? You think he would eat dinner with me? When my mum tries to invite him out for a meal, she gets scheduled in half a year later. Distance is his middle name. Ning Xi impatiently tossed a pillow at him, you terrible kid. Can't someone be concerned for you? Why do you have to keep putting me and Liu Tingxiao together? How do we even seem compatible? Zhang Weie mumbled to himself, it's a man's intuition, what do you know? In the time that they were quarreling, the doorbell rang. Ning Xi gave a warning glare to Zhang Weie, indicating that he should be careful with his words, before rising to open the door. Pub Future Ads. The moment she opened the door, Ning Xi's immediately lit up in pleasant surprise, because a little bun was following at Liu Tingxiao's side. Upon seeing her, Little Treasure threw himself at her with his short little arms wide open, as if he hadn't seen her in ages. Ning Xi's heart melted and she quickly picked him up, darling, you came too. I was still sad that I couldn't eat dinner with darling tonight. In the house, Zhang Weie looked at Ning Xi carrying Little Treasure, then glanced at Liu Tingxiao, who was watching them with affection in his eyes. He had the feeling that they were a family of three. He had never expected that Ning Xi would actually get along this well with Little Treasure. Little Treasure was an existence that was even harder to get close to than his dad. As for Liu Tingxiao, his attitude towards Ning Xi was very strange. Even if it was for Little Treasure's sake, knowing Liu Tingxiao's personality, he couldn't possibly bear living with a strange woman under the same roof. Hey, don't forget about me, I'm right here. Liu Jingli squeezed in, carrying 2 bottles of wine. Seeing that all 3 members of the Liu family had come, Ning Xi immediately tossed a look at Zhang Weie that said, see, they're all just here to care for you. Uncle, second uncle, and even Little Treasure came. Come in quickly, although he wasn't extremely pleased. Zhang Weie could only obediently invite them in. Who was it that let him be born in the younger generation? Chapter 97, She's the one who chased me. After the 3 of them had come, there was nothing left for Zhang Weie to do. Liu Tingxiao had invited a Michelin chef to cook dinner, Liu Jingli had brought 2 bottles of good wine from home and Little Treasure took Ning Xi away. The 5 of them then sat around the table with a weird atmosphere. Luckily, Liu Jingli was still around, so it wasn't too awkward. They ate and chatted idly on and off. Here, let's welcome our great star back home. Second uncle will give you a toast. Thank you. That's right, I didn't get the chance to ask you yet. How did you meet Xiao Zixi? Liu Jingli asked seemingly thoughtlessly, trying to suss out information on behalf of his brother. Hearing this question, Zhang Weie's expression didn't look too good. It seemed like he didn't really want to discuss this topic. He replied vaguely, we met in university overseas, and we're in the same batch. Liu Jingli narrowed his eyes and glanced at him sideways, saying with some hidden meaning, I think it's not that simple, right? Don't tell me she's an ex that you chased and tossed aside after you got her? The women by your side, excluding your mum and your fans, are your ex-girlfriends. Zhang Weie. Ning Xi snorted in laughter and gave Liu Jingli a thumbs up, second young master, you're too smart. Hey, it looks like I guessed right. Liu Jingli's expression was full of pride. There really was nothing he couldn't guess in this world. You're only half right. Zhang Wei retorted, his face turning dark. Eh? What do you mean by half right? Liu Jingli didn't understand. She's my ex-girlfriend all right, but she was the one who chased me and dumped me. Zhang Wei glared at Ning Xi sitting opposite with the expression of an abandoned wife as he spoke. An imperceptible glint flashed across Liu Tingxiao's eyes while he was helping Ning Xi and Little Treasure cut their steaks. Even Liu Jingli was startled, this was the first time he had guessed wrongly. He slammed the table with both hands and spoke while trying to hold back his excitement, really? Are you kidding me? This doesn't make sense. No matter how Ning Xi had been like overseas, she couldn't match up to the absurdity of this kid, so he had always thought that it was Zhang Wei who had initiated the breakup between the two. He hadn't expected. Pub future ads. Zhang Wei stabbed a rib on his plate angrily, ask her if you don't believe me. Why did they get onto this topic suddenly? Ning Xi's face was full of helplessness, that was a complete accident. The burning desire for gossip in Liu Jingli had already been lit up, and he was no longer just asking for his brother. He asked curiously, then what happened? Tell me quick. Quick quick quick. Zhang Wei was speechless. As someone from the older generation, is it really good for you to be so interested in the younger generation's gossip? Seeing that Zhang Wei's expression had turned ugly, and not wanting to make him look bad in front of his seniors, Ning Xi answered, it's nothing special. So many girls liked him back then in school. I was just one of them. In the end, we broke up because I found that he wasn't what I imagined and my fantasy collapsed. It seemed like there was nothing wrong with Ning Xi's words, but Liu Jingli knew that things weren't as simple as that. Otherwise, Zhang Wei's expression wouldn't look like that. Tisk, he was going to see if he could drag something out of the kid after giving him some wine later. Since Little Treasure was around, Ning Xi didn't drink tonight. After she finished eating, she sat by the table and was a little bored. Thus, she asked, Mr. Liu, can I go bring Little Treasure over there to play some games? Liu Tingxiao nodded, go ahead. Although the tone he used with Ning Xi seemed rather normal, it gave off a warm feeling that wasn't there with other people. Zhang Wei's face was full of resentment. That was his video game machine, the setup that he had brought back specially. She actually asked permission from another man, and was going to play with another man. He wouldn't accept it even if that man was just 5 years old. Chapter 98, You're the only one who can cure me. After 2 hours, despite Liu Jingli's valiant sacrifice, he couldn't drag anything out of that kid Zhang Wei before collapsing drunkenly. Actually, Zhang Wei was already on his last breath, but knowing that Liu Jingli wanted to interrogate him, he had held on until now. It was hard having such a gossipy uncle. He secretly felt that there was some reason why Liu Jingli was so adamant on trying to uncover this incident. However, his brain was mush right now and he couldn't think. The only one still sober at the table was Liu Tingxiao. Liu Tingxiao called the butler to take Liu Jingli home, then stood up and walked towards the living room. The sight that met his eyes was Ning Xi and Little Treasure lying flat on their backs on the sofa, sleeping soundly, with the word stage clear on the TV screen in front of them. Liu Tingxiao lightened his footsteps and walked over. The girl was carrying a soft, white little bun in her arms. That sweet sleeping visage could give anyone the urge to give up all fame and prestige just to sleep with her quietly for the rest of their lives. In the dining room, while in a daze, Zhang Wei watched Liu Tingxiao bend his body towards Ning Xi and get closer and closer. His pupils shrank and he was immediately wide awake. Liu Tingxiao almost couldn't help kissing the girl's sleeping visage. However, he stopped at the last possible moment and turned towards Little Treasure, waking him up with a soft call. The little bun rubbed his sleepy eyes. With a tuft of hair sticking up on his head, he looked even cuter than usual. Liu Tingxiao rubbed his little head, can you walk by yourself? The little bun nodded. Lu Tingxiao showed an expression of satisfaction, then bent over to pick up the sleeping Ning Xi in his arms. He met the little bun's eyes and said, "Let's go." The little bun obediently followed behind his daddy, seemingly not feeling that anything was strange. Zhang Muye. Zhang Muye rubbed his eyes with all his strength. He was so drunk that he was hallucinating, right? It must be. Why were Lu Tingxiao's actions so mysterious? He called the butler to pick up his younger brother and shook his sleeping son awake, but personally picked Ning Xi up to carry her back without waking her. Seeing Lu Tingxiao carrying Ning Xi, with the little bun following behind as they left, Zhang Muye remained dazed. Finally, his head fell on the table as he finally collapsed from drunkenness. In the Lu residence, the little bun wanted to sleep together with Ning Xi. Pub Future ads. Lu Tingxiao. Men should keep their distance from women. The little bun showed 5 of his fingers, indicating that he was just 5 years old. Lu Tingxiao nodded, "Very good. You realize that you're no longer a 3-year-old kid, but a 5-year-old adult. Now go back to your own room to sleep." Little bun. Lu Tingxiao's expression turned serious. "Do you want to be Auntie Xiao Xi's darling forever? I can only keep her for 3 more months. If I can't marry her by then, she'll leave you forever." The little bun's expression changed upon hearing this. He pouted in grievance and looked at Ning Xi, reluctant to leave. Finally, he slowly walked out while turning back 3 times with every step. Lu Tingxiao sighed lightly. Although Little Treasure was his biggest ally, he was also the greatest obstacle. It was good that he had finally convinced him for the moment. Lu Tingxiao placed Ning Xi gently on the bed and helped her take off her shoes before calling one of the female maids to change her clothes. While in a daze, Ning Xi felt that she had somehow returned to a soft bed. There was even a blurry figure in front of the bed. She reached out towards that somewhat familiar figure, still a little hazy and sleepy. Lu Tingxiao, are you sleepwalking again?" Stunned at the touch, Lu Tingxiao froze for a moment before his large palm covered her warm little hand. "Yes." Ning Xi frowned as she mumbled, "This is an illness, you have to treat it." Lu Tingxiao chuckled lowly and kissed her palm, "You're the only one who can cure me." Chapter 99, Smashing Windows in the Early Morning. In the middle of the night, at the PR department of Golden Age Entertainment Group, Liang Feixing was currently hard-pressed over Su Yumo's drunk driving scandal where she had knocked over someone, when his personal phone suddenly rang. He had been prepared to toss his phone to the side impatiently, but after seeing the display, he broke out into cold sweat and immediately sat up straight and hurriedly picked up the call. "Hello, CEO Lu, sorry. We're currently taking care of this matter. It'll be settled by tomorrow night at the latest." "What matter?" The man's cold and distant voice sounded from the phone. "Ah? That is Su Yumo's drunk driving incident. You're not looking for me because of that?" Liang Feixing was confused. So the boss hadn't called this late at night to interrogate him about the matter? No. Liang Feixing immediately heaved a sigh of relief. His brain was fried from working too hard. CEO Lu had never interfered with Golden Age's business. Even though this incident involved Golden Age's top female actress, Su Yumo, and was a huge matter to them, it was most likely nothing in Lu Tingxiao's eyes. So why was the big boss looking for him at this time? Liang Feixing started getting even more uneasy. "Then you're looking for me for? Get Jia Qingqing to retire from the entertainment circle in the next 24 hours. Lu Tingxiao immediately set down an order. "Jia Qingqing? CEO Lu, which Jia Qingqing do you mean?" "Starlight Entertainment." When the voice had finished speaking, Liang Feixing's face was full of surprise. The Jia Qingqing, whose looks were only above average, but had been billed as the entertainment circle's #1 beauty by Starlight? He had been wondering which big shot the boss had meant. Liang Feixing's face was full of bewilderment, but he didn't dare to say another word. He agreed, got it, CEO Lu. I understand. As far as I know, Jia Qingqing has been having a cat fight with one of the female artistes in the same company. Her opponent isn't someone easy to deal with and has already collected a lot of blackmail material on Jia Qingqing. She even knows how to get someone else to do her dirty work. She handed over all the material to our company to create a scandal video. Jia Qingqing offended too many people, there are many people waiting to hit her once she's down, I estimate that she won't be able to escape so easily. However, we need a bigger fire to chase her out of the entertainment circle. Do it in secret. Lu Tingxiao warned. Yes, rest assured, CEO Lu. Pub Future ads. After hanging up the call, Liang Feixing immediately handed over all his tasks to the vice director and personally handled this matter. This matter was no challenge at all. Having him work on it was like using a guillotine to kill a chicken. The artiste fighting with Jia Qingqing had already completed 80% of the work, so he only needed to give it the final push. However, Jia Qingqing was just a second-rate artiste. What had she done to have the big boss personally give the order for execution? No matter how Liang Feixing guessed, he probably couldn't guess that Lu Tingxiao's true aim wasn't to block Jia Qingqing from the entertainment circle, but to support a little actress whose name he probably didn't even know, Ning Xi. The next morning, when Ning Xi woke up, she was a little stupefied. Why was she lying in the Lu residence? She had clearly played games with Little Treasure for 2 hours straight, then she had fallen asleep on the sofa in Zhang Mui's living room out of fatigue afterwards. While in a daze, a bang sounded from the window behind the bed. Ning Xi suffered a fright, and hurriedly climbed up to check what was happening. When she opened the window, she saw a golden head of hair below. Ning Xi's head was full of sweat drops. Zhang Mui, what are you doing here? Zhang Mui, who had always cared the most about his image, was actually still wearing the same clothes from last night. By this time, his outfit was all wrinkled, and his hair was messy. He said impatiently, Ning Xi, come down right now. I have something to tell you. Quickly. Ning Xi sighed, feeling a headache coming on. She knew that nothing good would come of this guy knowing where she lived. As expected, he had come to throw stones at her window at such an early hour in the morning. Chapter 100, Older Sister is Aiming for the Stars. Just jump right down, quickly. And stop acting like you're some virtuous lady. Zhang Mui urged her like his pants were on fire. Speechless, the corner of Ning Xi's mouth twitched before she held onto the windowsill and threw herself out. Zhang Mui immediately pulled her over. After spinning her around a few times and seeing that there weren't any traces of night activities on her, he stared at her with a burning gaze. Did anything happen last night? Pub Future ads. Ning Xi almost fainted from being turned around in circles. She said unhappily, Zhang Mui, it's so early in the morning, why are you throwing a fit out here instead of staying in bed? I was just sleeping peacefully, what could have happened to me? His veins were popping on his forehead as he said, Ning Xi. Are you a pig? Don't tell me you don't know how you got here last night. I really don't know. Ning Xi had an innocent expression. Zhang Mui took in a deep breath before he could calm himself down. Gritting his teeth, he said, You're so stupid, I wonder how you haven't been taken away by someone and sold already. It was Lu Tingxiao who carried you back personally last night. Hearing this, Ning Xi seemed to be a little scared, before she objected, so what? Then it must have been my darling Little Treasure who couldn't bear to wake me and asked his dad to carry me back. Since that had been the case when they were in the bar, where Little Treasure wouldn't let anyone else touch her except Lu Tingxiao, she didn't think much of this. Zhang Mui almost expired from frustration. Ning Xi, could you be a little more cautious? Lu Tingxiao clearly has some intentions towards you, okay. Ning Xi heaved a long sigh, before placing her arms on Zhang Mui's shoulders. She said with utmost sincerity, Brother, This older sister is aiming for the stars, I won't stop for any random love interests. Even if you kneel down and beg for me to be your aunt, I won't give you the chance, okay? Please stop with your delusions, take a shower and go back home to sleep. When he heard this, Zhang Weiy's mood was complicated. While he heaved a sigh of relief, at the same time, he stared at her with a conflicted expression. Don't tell me you really don't intend on marrying at all for the rest of your entire life. What if you meet someone you like? Ning Xiaoxi, this way of thinking is dangerous and you shouldn't be having thoughts like that, you know? Let me tell you, although your career is important, for a woman, marriage should be. Ah! Ning Xi had been unable to resist any longer and had thrown a kick over. Zhang Wei, are you done yet? Are you trying to pick a fight with me? I see that it's been too long since I beat you up and you're itching for a beating. You just beat me up yesterday. Pub future ads. Pub future ads. Then I clearly didn't beat you enough the last time. This older sister is going to beat you into submission today, let's see if you still dare to spout nonsense. Zhang Wei fled in terror, and suddenly looked behind her and shouted, Uncle! Ning Xi sneered sinisterly, Uncle? Even if you cry uncle, no one's going to come help you. Just as Ning Xi's claws were about to strike, Zhang Wei shouted loudly, No, it's my uncle. Ning Xi's back stiffened and she turned her head over mechanically. Lu Tingxiao was standing there in workout attire, sweat rolling down his skin. From the looks of it, he had just finished a morning jog. Since she had been caught red-handed on the scene beating up his nephew, Ning Xi tried to think of something to say. She immediately pointed at Zhang Wei and said, Mr. Lu, this guy came over early in the morning to smash the windows of your house. I discovered him and I was preparing to beat him up for you. Zhang Wei glared at her, shameless. Do you dare to claim that you didn't smash them? Ning Xi said sternly and righteously. Lu Tingxia reached out to remove a strand of grass in the girl's hair, before stroking her head with his large palm as if it was a natural thing to do. Don't fool around. Go and wash up, it's time for breakfast. Yes sir, I'm going now. Pleased with herself, Ning Xi made a face at Zhang Wei before skipping away. Zhang Wei hated that he couldn't grab her and shout wildly at her, it's not once, nor twice but 3 freaking times. Lu Tingxiao is already acting so obvious. Can't your freaking dog eyes see it?